Nearly there. Just make sure everyone who may want to be involved is. I've got 3 online already, so that's good. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for all your feedback. Annoyingly, because I was using the metronome app, I didn't see you all saying that you were that I was having sound issues. So I've been talking to myself for 15 minutes. But we get stronger as we learn to beat the COVID virus. Lol. So one more thing. Come on Twitter. So where'd we got to? Secondary beat rolls. Hopefully you all enjoyed some singles, doubles, paradiddles. Anyway, and if anyone of you who is watching now is one of the people I've been WhatsApping, please send me a message to let me know that the audio is now okay. I should have seen in the audio bar underneath that it was just giving me 4 or 5 green dots solidly, which should have alerted me to the fact that perhaps there was a sound issue. Tomorrow, I'm going to use a microphone. Today, I have a microphone and I forgot to bring an XLR cable. Joy of joys. So let's see. We live and we learn. Exciting times. So I've got a couple of people here online. While we are waiting to see if a few more people join back in, yeah, let's do some secondary beat rolls. Let's get this metronome back on. And the funny thing about secondary beat rolls, welcome third person for joining me back. Thanks for bearing with me. The funny thing about secondary beat rolls, when we play them with a metronome, is that the accent is going to be on the offbeat, on the and. So, welcome back fourth person, thank you very much. So here we go, we've got 80 BPM going, which is what we had going the whole time, but you couldn't hear that, my apologies. So, secondary beat rolls, 80 BPM, sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. Now, I think, actually, possibly, yeah, thanks, Jake. I think possibly 80 BPM is quite fast for some people to do the secondary beat rolls. Maybe not. You guys can let me know in the comments or later on in a lesson or in a WhatsApp, whatever you want to do. Some of you will find 80 BPM no problem, I'm sure, as 8th note. So let's just think about this really slowly because we want to get this motion right. If we get the motion right, we can start to then work on using the fingers to snap a little bit more for that secondary beat roll accent. Or a little molar motion as well. Both work really well. Will help us get super fast doubles and will lead to things like nice shuffles and things like this as well. A lovely shuffles. Needs to have a decent secondary beat roll going on. So once again, welcome back. Sorry about all the sound issues. What you missed was singles, doubles, paradiddles. You guys know that stuff. You also missed me talking a lot of sense. So perhaps tomorrow I will be able to go back through some of that stuff. And in the meantime, let's get on and do some secondary beat rolls as quarter notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm counting it as an 8th note. It is a quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice as I'm doing this, I'm playing from the wrist. So I'm playing a little tap stroke and then bringing the stick to the 90-degree position. Welcome back, 5th person, 6th person, beautiful people. Thanks for the like. Although really you shouldn't be liking, you should be drumming. Do like as well. So as we get better at this, we involve not just the wrist, not just an up, down, but also, can you see, I'm exaggerating this now, a little snap of the fingers, which gives us, or leads us towards a lovely drop, grab, double. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cheeky another like from someone, should be drumming. So, hopefully, at this tempo, that's pretty easy. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. The left-handers, of course, you can start with the left hand here. So, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. 7 people joining me. It's a new world record for Fred's first. Is this my second live stream now because of the sound issues? Oh, 7's gone. Honesty, the best policy. Tomorrow, I expect 70. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Who's up for giving this a go? Back up to 8th note speed. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 4. I was telling this story yesterday. When I was 16, 17, I went on holiday for a week in Scotland, and I took my sticks, and I used to really just enjoy practicing on a pillow. Not a practice pad, but a pillow. I saw a wonderful drummer called Andy Edwards do a masterclass, 2 and 3 and 4 and he practiced for 7 years as a child on a pillow, and later on went on to drum for Robert Plant, famous from Led Zeppelin. So it's really not about what you have. You need a set of sticks, but really the most important thing is practicing. I would put an album on and I would just play through the album, playing 8th notes, 4th notes, whatever speed I could play at along to the thing, to get my secondary beat rolls up to speed every day. 30 minutes, maybe even 45 or an hour, just on secondary beat rolls. Because I wanted to be able to go, let's see if we can, 30-second notes, 80 BPM. So that is why we want to practice our secondary beat rolls. So let's move away. Of course, we lost a lot of time today on the audio issues. Again, my apologies. Let's move away from that. Grab my brushes again. You guys can stick with sticks if you want to, or brush with brushes if you want to. Let's have a little look at the rudimental ritual, lesson 1. A nice little refresher for all you guys on the first rudimental ritual lesson. So the first part of the rudimental ritual is, of course, the 3-stroke rough. Wonderful, wonderful little rudiment. And I love this. I use this tons. It's a little lead into a fill, in the middle of a fill, inside a groove. You all know, I think, lots of lovely contexts for this. But let's take it back down to basics, just like we have with the secondary beat roll there, nice and slowly. ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ta, left, left, right, left, left, right. Nice quiet left hand, left, left, right, left, left, right. And a nice loud right hand. So the left hand you can see staying perhaps in the 30 degrees position, couple of inches or a few more centimeters for my German students above the drum head. And the right hand stick is coming up to 90 degrees. If I was being really military, my right hand should not move at all between strokes. Ti-ti-ta, 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 ti-ti-ta. Left, left, right, 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 left, left, right. Let's just give this a little bit longer and then start to speed it up just a little bit. Left, left, right, 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 tap, 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 left, right, tap, 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 tap. That's where we want to be getting to with that. I need to do some practice on that too. Let's now look at that on the right hand side. I haven't been doing my rudimental ritual for a while because I've been obsessed with linear stuff recently, as you know, if you are one of my students. So now, same thing from the right hand side. Nice, low, quiet right hand, little two ghost strokes, and a nice, loud 90 degrees left hand. Ti-ti-ta, 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 ti-ti-ta. The point of this, of course, is that we're practicing our form, and we're practicing a beautiful motion. It's not that we're worrying about the speed right now. We're just thinking about getting a really nice, concise, precise movement. Nice, concise, precise. Maybe I should copyright that. Ti-ti-ta, right, right, left, 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 right, right, left. Always thinking, of course, nice relaxed shoulders, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left. Nice straight back. I have to check myself here as well. Right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left. Generally, we want to be right, right, left, nice and on the back of the stool. Obviously, today we're just using the hands, but if we're seated to the back of the stool, we will be more stable, so we are better able to use the feet as well, the legs. Right, right, left, 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 right, right, left. And let's just start to add a little speed. Right, left, right, 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 left, right, right, left, right, right, left. Ta 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 ta. This is easier, probably, for you right-handers. Right, right, ta ta from the right hand. So probably you want to get faster, quicker with this. But personally, I use this more in the left hand because in a groove, boom, it just fits in the right place on the offbeat 16th, on the syncopated 16th. Works really, really nicely to lead into a fill or to add a little bit of groove in the middle of a groove, a little bit of movement. So I would recommend practicing this a ton with the left hand because, of course, We're generally a bit lazy with the left hand. Left hand is not as quick, not as comfortable. So spending a bit more time getting these lovely left hand doubles is really, really a good thing to do. Which leads me onto something I was going to talk about, but I will remind you of now. Maybe we'll talk about this later, but we lost a bit of time, so perhaps this is for tomorrow, which is just right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. You can do this as accented or not. A really, really good exercise for getting the left hand double a bit more comfortable. And those secondary beat rolls, of course, that we were doing earlier. Best thing for your doubles, really. You can do that as well. I'm just throwing a few ideas at you here. You can watch this video back later. It will be stored on YouTube if you want to come back to any of these ideas. You can do this as a little shuffle, both hands playing in unison. And that's a really nice way to get the left hand moving the same as the right hand. Because, you know, you can really kind of analyze what each side is doing and copy. You know, the strengths from the right hand across to the left hand. While we're doing that, seeing as I think you have quite a nice view here, as I was saying earlier, like to have the German grip with my palm facing down. A lot of great drummers play French grip with the thumb on top. But personally, I like to play the German grip, and I think there are a lot of reasons to practice with the German grip. In real life, we use both. Coming up to the ride cymbal, I would play French, or down on the floor, Tom is much more comfortable in French, for example. But generally speaking, for rudimental practice, I would recommend the German grip. So yeah, just something to think about there. So I'm just going to take a little pause from the playing for a second, take a little sip of my coffee, and I want to tell you a little story. So this mug, you can see, live in Hamburg. The Beatles, live in Hamburg. Or does it say live in Hamburg? That's what I decided when I first found this mug in my old house, a shared house. This mug belonged to someone else at that time. They gifted it to me. And I was just about to move to Hamburg. It was 6 months before I moved here. And it was like every day I would drink my coffee. And it was the Beatles telling me to go and live in Hamburg, which had always been a dream of mine. I knew the story of the Beatles moving to Hamburg and cutting their teeth, is the expression. So really doing a ton of gigs here before they were well known, and really, really getting great at live performance and, you know, developing their sound and everything. I think they played every night, so the story goes, in a strip bar or something like this. I might have mixed that story up. But that takes me on to the Beatles nicely, of course, and my own experience with the Beatles. When I was 17, I was at college in Stratford-upon-Avon doing a music course, and we did a Beatles tribute concert. It was really, really good fun. I'd grown up with the Beatles from my dad playing them tons. He was a big fan, and it was the first time I really got inside the drumming of the Beatles. And Ringo Starr is often, you know, people take the mick out of him for not being the best drummer. He's much maligned, which is kind of a load of nonsense, really, as many YouTube videos explain far better than I'm going to in a couple of minutes now. But what I want to go into is the importance of studying drummers, of getting inside the heads of drummers, especially for you young guys, to emulate, to copy the sound of drummers that you like, or even producers that you like, if it's electronic drums. Brother Question, you know, he was really inspired by the production of Jay Dilla and then started to try to emulate his production style on live drums. The importance of this can't be, what's the word? I can't overstate this, because when you start to emulate other people, and singers do this really naturally, they just sing along to people as they're growing up, and they develop their style from copying these other people, and maybe take it from here, bit from here, bit from here, and they end up having their own sound from this, of course, with all their studying, etc., and the practice they do on top of that. So getting inside some drummers that you love heads, by learning to play those songs, not just play them, but really trying to find the feel that that drummer is using in each song, And Ringo is a great example here, because if you listen to a song like Come Together, that's a really, really cool triplet feel, slinky, sexy, beautiful, really, really nice. And then you've got much more straight things like Good Day Sunshine. But good day sunshine. That's just a really nice straightforward groove, you know, just a driving Stax beat, if my memory serves me correctly. So not just learning a song by a drummer, but really kind of diving into their back catalogue and seeing what you can steal from them or borrow or kind of interpolate into your own playing. Is a really, really good thing to do. So I would massively recommend doing that. So back to the rudimental ritual. Single drag. We've done our 3-stroke rough. Let's take now the single drag. For those of you who don't remember, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left. So we're looking for a few things here if we're really going to play these perfectly. 1, we start again in our 90 degrees with the right hand position, nice and low with the left hand. Right, notice the right hand's come back at that point to the 90 degree position. Left, left. I'm then going to bring that up to the left hand up to the 90 degree position as the right's coming down for its next full downstroke. So downstroke is where we leave it down. And then the right hand strikes there and it's ready for its next double. Left, right, right, left. And there I am set up again for the next stroke. Right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left. So let's get involved. Left, right, right, left. Right, left, left, right, 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 left, right, right, left. Right, ooh, that's right, left, right, right, left. Right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left. Right, left, left, right, ta, 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 ta. And you guys know, if you know me, that I'm always singing these things. Ta, 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 ta. This is an invaluable tool. Our first point of communication as humans is language, is our voice. So to sing these things makes them very natural. Also, singing them, we start to think more about the sound, less about right and left, right, left, right, he says, left, right, right, left. Because, of course, if we're thinking of right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, we've got different values. We've got 2 different sounds. But really, it's all coming from the snare or the practice pad or the tom, wherever we're playing it. So we don't necessarily want 2 sounds. First, we want ta, 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 excuse me, ta, 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 ta. We don't want 2 different sounds. So singing them for me, and this, I mean, has a really long lineage. In drummers in India who are learning the tabla, which is one of the most difficult drums in the world. There's a ton of different techniques for just these 2 drums. They learn to sing everything for like 2 or 3 years before they actually start to play. So ta, 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 ta. It becomes really cool when we speed it up. Quite hard to sing it at that speed and play it, but I would urge you to try because it's a really good thing. And if you sing it while you're practicing it, then you will get better at singing it, of course, as well. So that is the single drag. I'm rushing through a little bit, I feel, because of the time constraints. But hopefully for those of you who learned this a long time ago and perhaps haven't practiced it for a little while, that will both inspire you to practice it again and has given you a little reminder too. So finally, for today, the double drag, a tricky little double drag. I spent ages practicing this a little while ago. I wonder how it is today. I love this rudiment. It's really nice in fills. All of these are really great in fills. The single drag too. And there's the 3-stroke, as I've said, of course, the 3-stroke ref's great everywhere. So the double drag, we've now got 3 volume levels to think about. So we have the little double, a medium volume, a normal stroke, and then an accent as well. Ti-ti-ta, 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 ti-ti-ta-ta, ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ta-ta. Left, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right. Slow that down a little bit. Left, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, ta-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta, 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 left, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, woo, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, ta-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta, 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 etc. That's super cool, right? When you get it sped up. And if you're singing it, if you know the sound in your head, to be able to sing it, to be able to imagine it, to hear it in your brain, you're going to be able to learn to play it, starting off slow and gradually speeding up. Da, 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 da. So I would encourage you all to spend a little bit more time today while you're off school or working from home. If I think maybe a couple of my adult students have logged in today as well, and enjoy it. So we are coming up to 12 o'clock. I'm sorry that we've actually ended up getting a half an hour today because of the first 15 minutes of white noise and the 15 minutes of me faffing about to sort that problem out. Afterwards, tomorrow, I will be back. Same time, 10 o'clock UK, 11 o'clock German time. Vielen Dank to meine deutsche Studenten. And yeah, like and subscribe, you know, all that YouTube type stuff that people say. I don't think I can make a permalink, a fixed link for these. So I will be sending out a link every morning to people. Perhaps even I can do that now. I think I can schedule it already for tomorrow, so I can send the link out today. Please share it with people. I am going to do that. So please share it with your friends if you know other drummers or parents of other drummers who are currently off school. And thanks very much for your support, tuning in, blah, 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 blah. Get on my Facebook page, Number One Drummer as well, and you can keep all updated with more of this. And let's have some more fun and more practice tomorrow. Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful day and stay safe. Bye.